Hey guys, DJ AJ 101 with you here today, and I'm here for a very important interview and a little topic of discussion for you guys about Virgin Mobile's coverage area. So just kind of doing a little bit of backtrack. For those of you who don't know, I came from an iPhone on Verizon Wireless's nationwide 4G LTE network because I do believe Verizon's network is one of the best in the country. Specifically, if you do a lot of traveling, major highways, out in the middle of nowhere, etc., they do have very good coverage area. And coming to Virgin Mobile specifically because I wanted to save a bit of money, and I believe that I didn't necessarily go in the areas where there wasn't very much coverage, and Virgin Mobile, essentially Sprint's native network, could do the job just fine. So I wanted to have a bit of a talk about Virgin Mobile's network and my experiences about their network, and if I've had coverage issues. So to start off, first and foremost, this is going to primarily depend where you live in this country, and it's going to vary where you live, and it's going to vary where you don't live, and where you travel, and where you spend most of your time, etc. Me, for instance, I live in northeast Wisconsin. I'm actually going to show that map right now here. I live on the east side of Wisconsin, kind of halfway up through the state, and as you can see, fairly good coverage area in that corner of the state, not so much in other areas. And you can see to the far left also Minneapolis, very well covered in Minnesota as well. But now taking a back out look, at the entire US coverage map for Sprint's native network. Again, this is Sprint's native network. If you are looking at their website, they are going to say that they have coverage almost everywhere. That's because they can do extended coverage on other carriers such as Verizon and potentially regional carriers in your area. For instance, up here where I live, US Cellular and Cellcom do rule the roost for primarily a regional carrier benefit up here in the state. So anyways, I've been going up in this entire area of northeast Wisconsin. Haven't really left the area since I have gotten Virgin Mobile, so it's going to be hard to say anywhere up from Green Bay to Milwaukee to Appleton to Fond du Lac. If any of you guys have ever been up here or live in this area, or just look at a map, you would know exactly where I'm talking about. A lot of the bigger major metro areas up here where there are quite a bit of people, and I really haven't had that much of an issue with signal. I've usually always had a signal everywhere I've gone. The only times I can ever remember not having a signal in the particular instance where I was trying to get on my phone or maybe even use my phone, otherwise it's just in my pocket and I don't really look at it and I don't know, are in low coverage areas. For instance, if you are out and kind of in the middle of nowhere and you have one bar outside the complex, for instance a gymnasium or a school, you go inside, more than likely you're not going to have a signal. Again, this is primarily based because this is Sprint's native network. You cannot roam on Virgin Mobile. That's something very, very serious to consider when you are maybe thinking about switching to Virgin Mobile, is that you will not roam. So if you have a Sprint phone and you're not getting native Sprint coverage where you live, probably not the best idea to consider Virgin Mobile. You might want to go with Straight Talk, because that you can literally use any carrier's network, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint's, whatever, for your coverage in your area, specifically because they can work with more carriers rather than just Sprint, but Virgin in this case, Sprint only. Now, talking about call quality, again, I've literally had it where I've been down to one bar and have still been able to make a call, and actually for the call to be very, very clear and not very distorted. And I think that's been a major benefit and positive to this experience, because I have, like I said, been coming over from Verizon where I've had a few trouble with drop calls. Even when I had full service, sometimes the call would drop, and I've known other people that have had AT&T and other carriers and have had that issue as well. It just all depends how the network is and how it's configured in your area, and at the specific time as well, how the towers switch, from driving from tower to tower as you're going along your route. I have had a couple of drop calls, nothing major. I kind of expected that coming over to Virgin, considering the network hasn't been as good. I had Sprint way back in the day with my parents' plan, and it was never really all that good back then. It's improved a little bit now from what I can see, but really not all that much, so if Sprint sucks for you, this is probably not going to be the plan. But if Sprint's okay or great by your opinion and it works great in your area, hey, thumbs up, give it a try. You're going to save yourself some money with Virgin Mobile. And I want to talk a little bit about data speeds here before I do wrap up this video. And now, as anybody would know, if you tried Sprint's 3G network, it's actually quite bad. It's not really comparable with AT&T or Verizon, even T-Mobile in this particular case, because the Sprint speeds really aren't that good. And I don't want to do speed tests specifically. I'm just going to give you my personal experiences about it, because Sprint's 3G network, it's okay. I think it's a hair above dial-up, and it'll get the job done. You know, it's definitely better than 1x in your area. 4G, as a matter of fact, I think is actually quite decent. It's not going to be as fast as the other carriers, just in my experiences from coming from Verizon. I had much faster data network with Verizon. I had at least, you know, 10 to 15 down, and I think, you know, 3 to 5 up all the time, no matter how bad the service area was, as long as I had a 4G signal. With Virgin Mobile, I think I average between maybe 5 and 10, 15 if you're lucky, and uploads are going to be a little bit less. I think it's like 1 to 3 I've seen at the max, and I've tried a few different times in different areas with 4G up here. And so again, this is just the experience that I've experienced in Northeast Wisconsin. I think maybe a couple of my viewers are out there from Northeast Wisconsin, so kind of give you an idea what you can expect if you are watching the video. But again, this is really going to depend on where you live in the country, and if you know people that have Virgin Mobile in your part of the world, in the US, ask them. You know, they're going to give you the best idea. I'm just going to give you guys the best idea from my experiences living up here. So I hope to have given you guys a good idea what you can expect coming from maybe another carrier such as T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon, one of the big guys, to Virgin as a secondary carrier. So that's about it, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Again, please leave your comments below what you think about Virgin's network, or your specific experiences about Virgin's network. If it's crap, if it's awesome, if it's a great deal for $30+ a month that you're going to be paying for your supposedly unlimited data and texting, and however many minutes you get with your plan. Please leave your comments below. Always helps other people out that come across this video, and I certainly do appreciate it, and I'm sure they do as well. Also, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. That always helps me out. I appreciate that. As well as subscribe and check out my YouTube channel, DJAJ101, here on YouTube. Make a little bit of everything in our technology world, from unboxings, reviews, and updates like this about Virgin Mobile's network, which kind of, you know, connect with the unboxing and the eventually review that I will do about the iPhone 5S. Again, there's numerous reviews out there, so don't wait for mine. I'm really going to give you guys specifics on what I think has improved from the iPhone 5, which I had before, and I guess I'll go into a little bit of network review on that iPhone as well, because it is Virgin Mobile's iPhone. But please feel free to also follow me on my social media links. They are in the description below. Twitter and Facebook, both are DJAJ101. Again, guys, thank you so much again for watching this video, and once again, please leave your comments below. Always helps you out, helps me out, helps everybody in our community out when you guys share your experiences, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a great one till then, guys.